Tato, who is a student at TVET College, did not qualify to receive NSFAS and approached the bank for a loan to pay for his TVET College fees. He applied for a loan of 29,500 Rand with the following conditions: a once-off initiation fee, administration fee of 1,220 Rand and 40 cents, VAT inclusive. Let's not pass from there. So this amount includes VAT. You cannot multiply it by 15% to get VAT because VAT is already there. You can only remove VAT from this because it's already added. Already added. Hello. Yeah, so you can't add VAT here. It's already been added. A monthly service fee of 85 Rand. So note that this one is monthly. An interest rate of 25% compounded annually. Let's not move from here without looking at a lot of things. Interest rate is what we use to calculate interest. So we're going to use the interest rate of 25% in order to calculate it. That's a high interest rate and a compounded. Okay, then there's compound. Interest has interest. Unlike simple interest, where we calculate only on the capital amount or the borrowed amount, here we are going to, on the second year, we're going to say there's also interest, and therefore that interest should also get interest. Right, and then use the information above to answer the questions that follow. Disclaimer: these videos should never be used as memorandums and definitely not to mark learners. Okay, write down the acronym NSFAS in full. NSFAS is National Student Financial Aid. I forgot what the S is for. National Student Financial Aid Service? No. Scheme. Moving on. Calculate the VAT amount charged on the initial administration fee. What does the question want us to calculate? They want us to calculate the VAT. So they want us to calculate the VAT. Now, immediately when I think of VAT, I think of 15%, right? So I'm like, oh, multiply by 15% and find VAT. The initiation fee. So I'm going to go to the initiation fee, and that's where I'm going to calculate the VAT from. I go there and it says 1,220 Rand and 40 cents VAT inclusive. Oh my goodness, this VAT is already included there. I cannot multiply by 15%. But I can do the opposite. If I say 100% plus 15%, my loan plus the 15% VAT. No, my administration fee plus the 15% will give me administration fee including VAT. So this is VAT inclusive, VAT exclusive, VAT inclusive, VAT inclusive. So this one represents the VAT exclusive. 15% is the VAT itself. You add the two, then you get VAT inclusive. See? So if I take administration fee that does not have VAT and I multiply it by 115%, I get VAT inclusive. Now, that's what they did to get this amount. They're like, no, take it back. We don't want it anymore. So we're just going to do the opposite. Like, if you go to school and you get to school and you're like, you need to go home, what do? You do the opposite of what you did. You went to school, so now you're going to do the opposite. You're going to go home, right? So we need to move backwards. When we were going to the VAT inclusive, we multiplied. Now that we are going to the VAT exclusive, we are going to do the opposite and divide. Whew. I need to stop teaching this thing. Okay, let's calculate. Okay, 4.1.2. Okay, we have the administration fee of 1,220 Rands and 40 cents. This is VAT inclusive. We need to now remove the VAT in order to get VAT exclusive. And then, so we're going to say VAT exclusive is equal to 1,220 Rand and 40 cents. Guys, there's another way to do this. I just don't do it. When I don't like something, I don't do it, period. And then we divide, do the opposite of adding VAT. We're going to now remove VAT by doing the opposite, which is divide by. So remember I said 100% plus, this is VAT exclusive, 15%, this is VAT, will give you VAT inclusive, 115%, right? So we're going to take this and we're going to divide here. So I say 115%. Now, just for my convenience, I do it here and I say percentage can be changed into a fraction, 115 over 100. And a fraction can be changed into a decimal. So I say 115 divided by 100, that's 1,15. So in the next step, again, for my convenience, I write the step divided by 1,15, and then I get my answer. So this is VAT exclusive, and that is 1,220.4 divided by 1,15, and I get 1,061.2.17391. Then I have to round off, because this is money, I'm going to round off to 2 decimal places. 1,061.22. 2 decimal. Let's check out where's 2 decimal. 1 decimal, 2 decimal, there's 2 decimal, and the neighbor says 1 must increase, and therefore we have the amount there for administration fee that does not have VAT. Now, this was not the question. The question was calculate the VAT. So now I'm going to calculate the VAT for them. VAT is equal to 1,220 rands and 40 cents. I promise you it's faster when you do it, because you're not teaching and you're not like explaining and calculating at the same time. 1,061.22, and it guarantees you accuracy. 1,220.4 minus 1,061.22. And then the VAT here is 159 rands and 18 cents. And I understand everything that I have been calculating clearly. Wow, I should stop right there, but we're going to continue. Given that $1 is equal to 18 rands and 7 cents, convert 29,500 rands to US dollars. Okay. We are supposed to, we have a unit of measurement there that is rands. Now we are traveling to America and we need to change our money to dollars. Now, so I always put myself in the situation, right? So if they say they're Tato, I think it's me. And I'm like, okay, I am by paying all of this. What am I doing, right? So I put myself in the person's shoes and I become that person. And that's how I like to calculate. So here I'm thinking, I got this money, I need to convert it. So here we're changing it to dollars. Okay, not Australian dollars, not Canadian dollars, not Zimbabwean dollars, US dollars. Okay, so how are we going to change this? When we convert money for currency, we use the conversion factors, the exchange rate, right? So this is called an exchange rate. So we use the conversion factor. So I'm going to copy it as is, just like as if I was using a formula. So I'm going to say 4.1.3, and then I'm going to say conversion factor says $1, I'm going to write it like this, is equal to the rands from South Africa, which is 18.07, right? This I know. I'm just going to quickly note that I wrote dollars this side and I wrote rands this side. Okay, so now I'm going to come with, at the bottom, I'm saying there's is equal to there, so I'm going to write another is equal to there. And then I'm going to say I have rands here, which means I have to write them on the side of the rands. How much rands? How many rands? 29,500 rands. And then I don't know these rands in dollars, so I'm just going to call it unknown. And then I'm going to cross multiply, and it's going to be $1 times $1 times 29 rands, 29,500 rands. Then I say is equal to unknown times 18 rands and 7 cents. Okay, so now my unknown is sitting here and it's multiplying 18.7. The opposite of multiplying is dividing by 18.07. That goes away, and what I do from that side, I do this side, and I get my answer. So now we have unknown sitting on its own with the answer of in dollars. So let's calculate, let's see how many dollars this is. This is 29,500 divided by 18 rands and 07 cents. And that is 1,632 rands and 54 cents in dollars. And booyah, we're done with 4.1.3. Calculate the monthly service fees for 2 years, including the initial administration fee. Okay, Now, service fees. So our service fees here says monthly service fee is 85 rands, and for 2 years, so I'm going to start there. Service fees is 2 years, so I'm going to sort this out first because they said it's monthly, the one they gave us. So 2 years is 12 months, that's 1 year, plus another year, that's 24. So that's 24 months. Great. Now our service fees is equal to 1 month is 85 rands. So there we go, 85 rands times 24, and I get 24 times 85, I get 2,040, right? So the question said including, I remember something like including initial fee administration. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to say the total service fees is equal to, then I'm saying administration fee is 1,220 rands and 40 cents plus 2,040. That should give us 2,040 plus 1,220. Just double check, yes, 0.4, and that gives us 3,260 rands and 40 cents. That is the fees for service. This is rendered, and we are done with 4.1.4. Tato claims that he will pay a total loan value of 49,354 rands and 15 cents after 2 years. So he's saying, verify showing all the calculations what he's claiming. Tato says he will pay the total loan value. Okay, he's saying in total, everything he's going to pay in the 2 years is going to total 49,000 rand. Now remember, he borrowed 29,000, right? He borrowed 29,500 and he has to pay this back. And then there's more to it, plus administration fees, plus the service fees, plus interest. Now we know the administration fee, we know the service fees. The service fees is 85 times 24. We know the administration fees including VAT. We just don't know the interest yet. So let's start there and calculate the interest, right? So we're going to find the interest first. So interest. Okay, what do they say about interest? They say 25% compounded annually for 2 years, right? So, okay, we're going to calculate for 2 years because the question says for 2 years here, after 2 years. So let's calculate for 2 years. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to calculate interest for year 1, right? And that is, how much did he borrow? He borrowed 29,500 rand. That's what we have right now, 29,500 rand. And we're going to multiply this by 25%. You can multiply it by 125%. It's fine. It will give you money including interest. But it depends on the question. That's why I'm doing it like this, because I want to make sure that you know 90,500 times 25 divided by 100. So in the first year, the interest will be 7,375 rands. So this is the interest in the first year. Now, we are doing compound interest. So we need to find the interest in the second year. But before we calculate for the second year, we need to find the balance. The reason we're finding the balance is because here in the second year, the loan will have interest plus the interest from last year, which is year 1, will have interest, right? So let's just add them together and calculate once and for all. You can calculate them separately and add them together. It's fine, but you don't have to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to say the loan amount is 29,000. So we're just going to calculate how much is the balance. 29,500 plus last year's interest, which is 7,375 rands. And now we're getting 36,875 rands, right? So this is the loan and year 1 interest, and then we're going to calculate the interest for year 2, which is now interest is equal to 36,875 times 25%. Now before we continue, let's check at year 1. Year 1, there was only this loan amount. We calculated interest, we got there. Year 2, see how the money we're calculating interest for has changed. Now this is called compound interest, right? Okay, interest in year 2 We're now going to multiply this by 25 divided by 100. So the interest in year 2 is 9,218 rands and 75 cents. Now we've calculated the interest. We know the interest. I'm just going to remind myself what the question was again. Okay, so Tato claims that he will pay a total loan value of 49,000. Total loan value, everything, going back to the bank now. Okay. So firstly, now what is the total? In the year 1, we got the interest there, right? In year 2, we got the interest there. So now we know the 2 interests that he's going to get. So I'm just going to say now total interest, but I don't have to. Total interest is equal to, and I'm going to add the interests together. That is 9,218.75 plus 7,375, and that gives us 1,659 rands, 16,593 rands and 75 cents. Okay, that's our total interest. Now we have the interest, we have everything. We can calculate the total loan value, right? So now we're going to calculate the total loan value, which is equal to, he borrowed 29,500 rand. That's going to get paid back. Then I'm going to go step by step so I don't skip anything. Then he paid an administration fee right at the beginning of 1,220 rands and 40 cents, right? And then all these months he paid a monthly service fee of I did calculate it. I can come and copy it from here. It's 2040. But if I forgot that I calculated, I can just easily say 85 rand times 24. Then he also paid an interest of 16,593 rands and 75 cents, and that is the total. So what I'm just going to sort this out first. I'm going to say 29,500 plus 1,220.4 plus 2040 plus 16,593 rands and 75 cents. Right. So, and I add all of that together. $29,000. All right, so the answer is 49,354 rands and 50 cents. Now I'm just going to check again what the statement was. Verify showing all that is correct. 49,354 rands and 15 cents. Oh, there we go. It's correct. Now, if you hadn't come up with this amount, even though it turns out he's right, and it was a different amount, you would have to say here, due to your answer, he's incorrect. Because if you say he's correct, even though your answer says he's not correct, then you lose this mark over here on top of the mistakes that you're going to be charged for. Okay. So, last question. Hence, calculate the interest paid over 2 years. So they want to know how much is the interest paid over 2 years. I don't need to calculate it. I've already calculated it. It's 16,593 rands and 75 cents. So that's 4.1.6, 16,593 rands and 75 cents. I can double check it, but I know that because I calculated it step by step there, I have it here. Okay, let's take a look at 4.2. A growth chart for boys indicating length for age and weight for age is shown on annexure. Table 5 below indicates BMI, which is body mass index, for age percentile range and the weight status. So the table here, percentile range and weight status. So weight status would be telling us if the child is underweight, healthy, risk of overweight or overweight. So a child on the 5th percentile is underweight. So if we read for the child and we find that the child is on the 5th percentile, then the child is underweight. If we read at the 95th percentile and we say, oh, the child is at the 95th percentile, that child would be right there. And then that means the child is overweight. Okay. So these are about babies, actually, like complete babies. Right, so we're going to look at the first question there. But before we do that, let's study the graph. Okay. So there's length, weight, and then there's ages here. Birth, it says the birth, and then there's age months, and at the top there as well. Okay, so it says here centimeters, it says here at the bottom kilograms. Let's just look at that. You see there's a gap here. So this part ends here and something else begins. So this is weight, and then there's a gap there, and we are just like that. So this is weight, and this is height, right? So you read height there, and you read weight there. It says kilograms there, it says centimeters there, and then it says kilograms there. And then we have the birth, which is from 0 to 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and so on months. And we can read that at the top as well. And then we have kilograms, which is 2 kilograms, 3, 4, right? And then we have from here we have 8, 9, 10 going all the way up. They didn't give us this 18 months here, so it's not written, so we're just going to end where they've written the number exactly, so we know what the number is there. And then we have here, which is 40, 45 going all the way to 100. The highest height there is 100. They didn't give us a number there, so we're not going to focus on that because we don't know what the number is there. Remember, this is a growth chart for children. It has to be precise. So right, so this is what would appear on a child's clinic card, and the records would then be put down every time the child has a checkup. Okay, so let's go ahead and just read. Let's just try read it. So let's go for 3 months. Let's say the child is 3 months. And I read there that it says if the child is on the 5th percentile, they are underweight. So I'm going to try and find a 3-month baby. So there's 3 months and 5th percentile, there's 5th percentile. So how would you read that? If you're given 5th percentile and you're given 3 months and you want to know the weight of the child. So what we do is you go using the line of the percentile. This is percentile, right? So you go using the line of the percentile. So that's the line of the percentile, the first one there, 5th percentile. And then we go to 3 months. So at the moment we touch there, now we're going to read the weight of the child. So the weight of the child is right there, just under 5 kilograms. So that would be 4.2, 4.4, 4.6, 4.85 kilograms. So the child is 4.8 kilograms. That would be the child that is underweight, right? 3 months, 5th percentile, underweight. Same as if we had 3 months and then we had 4.5 kilograms, which is very tiny. And right, so we would say there is the line for the 4.8 kilograms, and there's the line for 3 months and the percentile, and we go all the way there and read the percentile, right? Okay, same thing with the height then. Okay, let's try and answer the questions. Identify the maximum length covered by the growth chart. So here's the growth chart, maximum length. So the highest number they've given us there in the length section is 100. So I'm going to go ahead and say that is 1, even though I'm concerned that it doesn't end there, but the last number they've written is 4.2.1 is 100 centimeters. Okay, so we're going to go to 4.2.2. Okay. 4.2.2 says determine the weight of a 24-month-old boy who is 71 centimeters. Okay, let me just write it here. 24 months and 71 centimeters. Okay, just so I don't go back and forth. 24 months, 71 centimeters. Okay, let's start with the months. I can read the month's bottom, I can read the month's top, but what I'm going to do is, because the length is this side, I'm going to read it from the top. Okay, so 24 months is this line here. So this line here is going to give me 24 months, 2-year-old boy. Okay, so I'm just going to highlight the line so that I know which line I'm reading. There we go. Now that I'm sure that's the line. In fact, I'm going to do this line with a pen here, 24 months. Yeah, right? That's what we're given. And then we're given 71 centimeters. So I'm going to go here and read. I can read it from here. No, that's from 90 there. So I can read it here and say 70. There's 75 and 70. So I'm just going to check 71, 72, 73, 74, 75. Oh, that's correct. They count in ones. So that's the 70. That means that line there. I'm first going to do the pencil and be sure. So that line there is the 71 line. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight it and highlight it like that. So now you see we're here where they meet That's the line we're going to read for the percentile. So the question said, what percentile? Okay, even though that's the percentile, had they asked, the weight of this child is 15.1, no, 15.2.4.6.8, 16. Oh, that this one counts in 0.2, 15.2 kilograms. So this one is 15.2 kilograms. Right, so I can read the weight on this side here, right? So the weight here is 15.2 kilogram. Hey, weight status. Now, last time they said the weight, which is 10 kilograms, 15 kilograms, 20 kilograms. Now they want the status. Now the weight status is on the table, but for us to know the weight status, we need to know the percentile. Only the percentile will lead us to the weight status. So write down the weight status of a boy with a BMI which falls between 85th and 95th percentile range. So we don't even need the graph chart. We just have to read it here. We do have it. They've given it to us. We don't need to go find it. So if you're between 85th to 95th percentile, you are at risk of overweight. You're not overweight, but you are at risk. You are at risk of overweight. Right, so if you're 85th, 86th, 87th, 88, 89, and 90, 91, 92, 94, and 95, those ones are at risk. Now, give an advice to the mother of the boy with a weight status identified in question 4.2.3 above. So this child is at risk. I don't want to lie to you. I don't know nothing about babies. Wow. I am not the one to be giving advice, but remember, they just want your general knowledge, okay? So just come up with something. What do you think? Okay, I need to put myself in this situation. I'm having difficulty imagining myself in this situation. Okay, what do I think the mother should do? Well, maybe changing the diet would be the one thing I would think of if I was at risk. But then this is a baby, so I don't know if the same rules apply. But like, if I also, it would be very important to make sure that if the child usually sits in front of the TV, that there should be like a designated time to play physically. For the child needs to play physically. That would be an advantage for the child, you know, play physically, sort of like tweak the diet a little bit. And if that doesn't help, maybe there are other conditions that are leading the child, so that maybe consult a health practitioner, a nutritionist, a health practitioner, somebody who's going to have the child checked out. Should there be resistance to the overweight? Turns out I did have something in there. See, you live it and turns out they just want to know, what do you think?